I guess people can hear me. Oh, Alex.
Gary, you
Yeah.
are live, my friend. Take it
All
away.
right. All right. Thanks, Alex. So, welcome everyone to the Startup Week Tampa Bay. And thank you for joining the Gaming and Esports track. We're really excited. We've had over 300 attendees register for our different sessions for this week. We're really excited to share a lot of unique insights and valuable perspectives about this space. It's 159, or this year's, yes, Maddie. I'm going to be brief because I've got some toddlers I have to attend to, but it's 150. We expect it to be $159 billion industry this year. The gaming industry as a whole, the esports is going to be $1.5 billion this year. So there's a lot of growth opportunity. And our first guest to talk about one of the many valuable perspectives this week is Derek Watford. He is the CEO of High Point Gamer. He's a Tampa Bay local resident and expert in the space. He's helped produce gaming and esports experiences for celebrities and big companies around the country. So I'm going to turn it over to him and let him take it away. Thanks, Derek.
Hey, thanks, Marcus. I appreciate it. Enjoy your toddlers.
I'll try.
Hey, how are you doing, everybody? Appreciate you joining my session. I will be talking about how you can add gaming to your marketing strategy. What I'm going to do is talk through why you should do it, who's done it before, what ways can you do it, and so we can get into question and answers, because I definitely don't want to sit here and just be a talking head to you. I want to be able to get your feedback and answer some specific questions. First, why should you consider adding gaming to your marketing strategy? Well, one is it is a digital content atmosphere, meaning that the consumption of it is consumed on digital devices such as your phone, internet, which means that a lot of your marketing that you're doing now from a digital aspect is probably traditional marketing, meaning you're doing Instagram, Twitter, Facebook ads, etc. And a lot of times those traditional methods, even though they are effective, they can become stale from a branding and a customer engagement standpoint. So implementing video games as part of your marketing strategy allows you to create more engaging content that then creates either you receiving more leads or more sales, whatever your business goals are. Two, diverse options, meaning that because the gaming industry is so vast, there's so many options as far as gaming content. That means there's a lot of different types of people playing different types of games. So regardless of what type of brand or business that you have, there is an audience for you somewhere within the gaming industry. You can't really say that a lot about a lot of other industries. Longevity. We all know video games are not going anywhere anytime soon. We have PlayStation 5 coming out, the new Xbox coming out. As technology advances, that means more consoles are going to advance. Technology around gaming is going to advance. And esports is fairly new from a industry standpoint that has garnered mainstream attention. So you at least have at least 10 years around working with video games. Inexpensive options. There are a lot of inexpensive options because gaming isn't on a lot of people's radars from a business perspective, meaning that you can sponsor someone, endorse someone for a lot less than probably what you would spend on your big budget items when it comes to marketing. We all know that when it comes to marketing, you want to maximize your dollars as much as possible to expand, whether that's getting more leads, whether that's generating more sales or more engagements from a brand's perspective to generate more loyalty within your brand. What brands have added gaming to their gaming or marketing strategy? Louis Vuitton, which is we consider a high-end brand. They've done stuff within the gaming industry. Budweiser, they actually have a stream team that they use to market to. Puma, they have their own shoe that they came out with specifically for gamers. Not sure how that works when gaming is a sedentary activity, but they definitely saw value in adding it to their marketing strategy. Red Bull, even Geico, from an insurance standpoint, they actually even have a gaming team that they use to market to. So these examples, they range from, like you said, a luxury brand, alcoholic beverage, energy drink, insurance companies. There really isn't a limit into the type of brand that can benefit from gaming within the gaming industry. So when you think of gaming industry and you say, okay, if I choose to add gaming to a marketing strategy, what would that look like? Like, what options would I have available to do that? And one of the options, the most common, is sponsorship, meaning that you could take an esports event or a gaming event, whether you're doing a Comic-Con or whether you're doing even a League of Legends tournament, for example. It's a sponsorship opportunity, meaning that somebody else is going to put on an event or activation, and then you pay them to be, whether you're paying them to have your logo displayed, you're paying them to promote QR codes or promote promo codes that people can use to come back to your site to purchase with. Or you can go from the partnership standpoint. And partnership means that you'll take somebody like a hardware or accessory. So let's use HyperX, for example, for headsets. You could partner with a HyperX or any other hardware or accessory standpoint, and you work together, meaning that you do take something that they're providing within the gaming space and then attach your brand to it, which comes across more authentic if you're really trying to be within the space. Grassroots, meaning that if you want to start up your own type of activation where your brand itself is carrying the load of generating interest and building up their own type of list that they know exactly who's within the gaming industry, whether you can start up your own league, start up your own stream team. A league is, let's use NBA 2K, for example, where you can start up your own amateur league where people sign up to join, be a part of whatever game you're playing. And therefore you have brand recognition because it's your league. So you're providing the prizing, the tournament rules and structure, and the recognition for the gamers that are participating. Stream teams is, if you're familiar with Twitch or YouTube gaming, what it is, you take a gamer that says, hey, I like to play Mario Kart um, for 20 hours a week, and I like for people to watch me while I'm playing Mario Kart. So therefore, I'm going to set up my camera, I'm going to set up some lights, my microphone, and I'm going to have a set schedule in which I'm going to play this game and allow others to watch me play and engage with me via chat. So developing your own stream team means that you'll find gamers that are, hey, they're already dedicated to the time that they're going to spend on streaming. So if they were able to get a brand that's able to support them, meaning that, hey, if you decide to be on my stream team, just be sure to add my logo to your stream. Be sure to shout me out on your Twitter and social media. In exchange, I'm paying you to be on my stream team, or I'm providing merch or some other type of incentive that makes joining my stream team make sense. Paid posts from YouTube, Facebook gaming. They all have their own gaming channels, networks within. So like say YouTube gaming, for example, most of us are familiar with just going to YouTube and watching regular YouTube videos, but YouTube has a separate section that's totally dedicated to gamers that they can use to stream their content on. So your paid posts can infiltrate directly into that audience, whether it's on YouTube gaming, Facebook gaming. And so when speaking of Twitch and Facebook gaming, the platforms that are available are Twitch. So Twitch is a streaming platform. We like to consider that one of the most popular forms of streaming, where gamers sit and they have their schedule of how long they're going to play and what games are they going to play. And it records their gameplay along with their camera. And then it also accompanies them with a chat box in which those of us that watch their stream or tune in, we engage with them via the chat message. And a lot of these streamers, what their goal is, they want to get to partnership status, or where they're able to monetize their streaming time, meaning that after a certain number of views, after meeting certain criteria that Twitch has, I'm able to monetize, meaning that my followers can subscribe to my channel and I get a portion of that fee that they're paying to subscribe to my channel. And in order to reach that level of generating more revenue off of Twitch, I need to become popular. I need to garner more views and attention. And so therefore, if I have brands that have added me to their marketing strategy, and they're providing additional clout for me, so to speak, that means that my viewership is going to go up. That means my subscription is going to go up, which means I'm going to be able to generate more revenue off of my channel, as well as garner you as the brand more views and engagement. Discord. Discord is a chat platform. I feel like they've kind of graduated beyond chat nowadays, though. But it is I'm trying to say, how can I explain it? It's a place that has a bunch of rooms, so I can set up my own Discord channel and say High Point Gamer Discord, and then I can get people to come and join my Discord. And within that Discord, it's a community of everyone that's joined our Discord, where we can talk via text, we can talk via voice chat. I can promote when I'm going to stream. I can promote what new game I'm about to play. I can promote my affiliation codes and stuff. And that world of Discord is so many channels, so many options within that I think from an advertising standpoint, if you're not within the gaming space or within the gaming industry, Discord is not on your radar as a community that is full of millions and millions and millions of gamers that engage. eFuse.gg is a social media platform that's dedicated to gamers that are trying to build a career around their gaming time. So you will sign up for eFuse.gg and you are able to post your clips from your gameplay. I'm able to post almost like an Instagram type post, but it's all centered around gaming, so that I'm building a portfolio within this platform that allows me to say how much clout I have within the gaming industry. Is it like Slack, but without audio? Yes, definitely is. But it does have audio. And then Play One Up. Play One Up is a platform that allows gamers to bet, so to speak, on their gaming skills, meaning that I sign up for Play One Up. I deposit my money into Play One Up, and then I go out and I look for other gamers that are playing the same game that I'm playing, and I wager how much I'm willing to bet that I would beat them at the game. So Play One Up acts as the broker between that gameplay, meaning that if I lose, then I bet $5 on this game, then the other player is awarded $5 in return for that. The benefit of a platform like that from a marketing standpoint for your brand is that as a brand, you could join these platforms and have your own community within it. So let's take Play One Up, for example, where you're able to wager money. You can set up your own tournaments to say, I don't know, let's say a Nike 2K tournament with prize of $200. And then everyone within the app that's interested in competing for the $200 was willing to join and pay, and the winner of that wins the prize. But because they've joined the tournament based on the tournament that you as a brand has created, that's brand recognition for that user. When he goes down the line, like, oh yeah, I remember I played with so-and-so. They did a tournament where I was able to win $200. And to them, that means your brand is a good brand to them because they associated with something positive that happened. It relates to their gameplay. YouTube gaming. YouTube gaming is, like I said, a platform that gamers use to stream their gameplay. That's another option for you to promote your brand or business on, because each of these platforms like Facebook gaming, Twitch, and YouTube gaming, they come with a landing page for that gamer. So on that landing page, it'll be a main page that's showing the gameplay, and then there's an about section underneath. And a lot of brands use that about section to post their links directly to certain products, to post their logo, or even use like banner ads within that placement, because they know that as a viewer of gaming, they're going to see the landing page and therefore see your brand. So how do you add gaming to your campaign? Like, what does that mean? Well, one, you select a campaign that you're interested in using for the game, for gamers. So let's say you're doing a 90-day run on trying to sell more light bulbs, right? And you're saying, well, my campaign currently we're set up, we're going to do Facebook ads, I'm doing some PPC, I'm doing some Instagram paid posts, and this is the messaging that I'll be using for those posts. These are the graphics that I have set up for these posts. Here's the schedule that I'm going to deploy those posts. Now say, with that campaign, where can I implement gaming into this? If I say my main messaging that I'm using, I select the option to say, okay, I'm going to use Jimmy as an influencer. He streams my playing 2K all day long. And what I'm going to do is tailor my messaging that I'm currently using across these other platforms and tailor it to fit within his platform to say, hey, Jimmy, what I want you to do is to shout out this link for me every 30 minutes within your stream. I'd also like for you to post this banner graphic that we're putting in your about section of your stream. And I would like it to be clickable. And also we're going to give you a special code. So Jimmy hyped up on light bulbs code that if anybody uses that code while purchasing, they'll save money, but it also allows us to track what type of engagement working with you has provided for us so that, you know, how marketing, when it comes to marketing, you like your stats. You like to say, okay, how many impressions did I get? How many click-throughs did that result? How many sales did that result in? So providing these codes for these gamers or this gamer activation allows you to track how much traction you're actually getting from these engagements, because you can always cut. If you say, hey, Jimmy the influencer and playing 2K isn't really the audience that feel like you need from a brand standpoint, or doesn't fit the demographic of your users or customers, there's somebody else out there. You go find that person and you try it up again. And in most cases, you're able to try out from an influencer standpoint, at least 60 to 30 days, because like I said, they're just happy to get the attention of someone recognizing that the work that they're putting into streaming their gameplay, because streaming to a gamer is a grind. It is their career. It is their business. And they feel like me doing this, me streaming 20 hours a week has garnered me the attention of whether it's small businesses, big businesses, and they're supporting me along my path. To them, that is a win, and they're excited about showing and proving that they can be a valuable asset to your brand. Next, with the custom codes. Custom codes is really what a lot of affiliates are using when it comes to an influencer. So then they can have a whole roster of influencers versus selecting one or two. They can actually set up an affiliate program within their brand where they say, hey, gamers that are streaming, hit this link, sign up, give me your email, your name, your Twitch link, where I can go and actually see the content that you're streaming to see, do you curse a lot? Are you a little too edgy for what my brand is? What type of audience engages with you? What type of hours do you stream? How often do you stream? Are you consistent? Are you doing anything in support of yourself while you're streaming? Meaning that, are you just streaming, or are you streaming and you're posting on social media and you're signing up to talk and you're doing podcasts and you're doing these other marketing opportunities? And then you develop a list yourself as a brand to say, okay, based on this link that we sent out, based on the people that signed up for this link that are interested in being an influencer for our brand, here are the top 10 that we'd like to try out for this run. And then you use them in pursuit of marketing for your brand. Now, one thing I will say when it comes to adding gaming to your marketing strategy, it definitely isn't a set it and forget it opportunity. Like, you definitely need someone that says, hey, I'm going to check back in with my influencer. Hey, I'm going to check back in with this event. Hey, I'd have a graphics person that's going to be able to provide assets for this opportunity. You definitely can't just say, oh, I want to do influencer marketing, or I want to do gaming marketing, and then pass off and go back to something else that interests you. And you definitely have to have someone that is focused on tracking the measurables, delivering, and making sure that your influencer is staying on point. Questions? Any questions so far? Let's see what Q&A is. Are there other streaming services like Twitch popping up that may be gaining popularity? Yes, there are. Microsoft had one called Mixer, but they ended up killing it. I guess they weren't doing as successful as they thought. But there's a one called Caffeine. So like caffeine, like the drink.com, they provide a streaming service and they allow you to monetize your streaming service right from the jump. They don't wait for you to get dubbed the same way that Twitch does. Twitch has a process before you can actually monetize your gameplay. But Caffeine does not have that limitation. Next question. How do people find the Discord channels? Is it like Slack? Yeah, so when it comes to Discord, you can set up, as a brand, you can set up your own Discord username and avatar. Um, and then you can find major brands. So I tell brands that I work with, like, let's piggyback off of the major brands that have already built up their Discord channel. So we'll use someone like Red Bull that has a large Discord channel. Go in their Discord channel and you see the long list of all the users that are participating within their Discord. But because it's chat based, you actually get to see which of those users um, are very active, meaning that they're always posting, they got comments, there's dialogue going back and forth. And then you're able to infiltrate, so to speak, and engage with those gamers directly to say, oh, okay, I see Jimmy the Hot One. He's always talking about his stream and he's always posting. I can send him a private message and check out his stream to say, hey, send me your link, send me your email, where you're located, how old are you, etc. That's how you can find out in Discord. Next question, can you describe how local businesses are using gaming esports for brand reach or brand engagement? So for local businesses, to be honest, it's a lot easier than so national brands for standpoint. So if you have a local business and let's say you're a restaurant and you just want to tap into the gaming industry to add to your customer base, you could have a special gaming night where you're giving discounts for visitors that come in on Wednesday night is your gaming night. They come in and get a special discount off of visiting your restaurant. Or you can have special codes that you give out specifically for gamers within their Twitch. If you link up with an influencer, let's say you have an influencer that you say, hey, every Wednesday I want you to promote this code, and anyone that uses this code, we're going to give you a portion of a proceeds, whether that's 1% of the revenue generated, or we give you a tab that allows you to then come in my restaurant and eat for free with your friends or whatever. My thoughts on gamification for B2B platforms. Our members are local business owners, founders, and digital freelancers. We are a marketplace that would like to use gamification for engagement. So gamification it's one of those awesome opportunities if you're able to actually have someone that's able to strategize how to add gamification to your business. So gamification will be, here's an example of gamification. So let's say I have, let's take the old reward points. Remember back in the day, you would get this card, and if you go to the restaurant, they'll clip, and if you get all the holes punched out of the card, then you come back with the card and you get a free meal. Gamification is like the modern version of that, meaning that here I'm going to set a point system based off of, let's say I'll give you 2 points every time you come in my store, or every time 2 points for every $10 that you spend at my store. And if you get 20 points, I'm going to then reward you with a 50% off discount, or reward you with a free meal. I'm going to reward you with a Chotsky or some merch. That's how you add gamification to your business, so that as a gamer, I know how many points I need to get in order to reach a reward. I know how much engagement you require from me in order to reward me. And I just work towards that, almost grinding out the same way I would do for video games. Are there any local organizations that business owners can connect with to learn more about gaming and esports? Yes. In the Tampa area, we have Tampa Association of Gaming, which Marcus, who introduced me, he's the president of that. That is one organization. You have Computer Mentors. That is another organization. You have my organization, High Point Gamer. We actually put together plans and strategies for businesses on how to engage in that marketplace. Because one of the challenges that businesses have, especially from a marketing standpoint, most marketing positions are held by those that were educated in traditional marketing. So they stay focused on, hey, this is what I know. This is what we've been doing for years. Me going to try to learn and figure out some other type of process in addition to the workload that I already have, in addition to the deadlines that I already have. In most cases, makes it um, something that they're not interested in. So then my group comes and like, hey, you don't have to worry about understanding the space or doing the research to figure out what brands or which influencers to connect with, what games make sense or what opportunities make sense for your brand. We do the vetting for you, and the only thing that we require from you is to say, okay, yes, I'm interested in this opportunity. Here's the budget that I'm willing to set for towards that. We even help provide the assets so that your graphics team isn't overwhelmed with these additional deadlines, additional deliverables to their already full plate. And then that makes it a lot easier for brands to not only try something new, but also be more willing to experiment with something new because it's not really adding much to their plate. It's not really taking away too much from their identified budget. And they're able to pivot whenever they want to. They can say, oh, that really didn't work for us. Let's do something else. Or no, that little additional 20% of leads that we got from the gaming community was pretty good. Like our sole business isn't focused on gaming, but having that as an additional audience to tap into has been a benefit from a merch standpoint. Can you describe what Wendy's did to Fortnite and what Burger King did with FIFA? So another opportunity for brands to use from a marketing standpoint is in-game marketing, meaning that you get with a developer and you're able to develop skins that are tied in with your brand. So let's use Burger King, for example, where they took uniforms and jerseys that the players use in the game, and they styled it with their logo and look. And that's actual in-game branding and marketing. From a local business standpoint, will local businesses participate in that? Depending on the budget that you're willing to put forward to, because those assets have to be created by someone. So whether if you want to have the character within the game walking around with your jersey or your hat on, who's going to create those deliverables and assets from a 3D mockup standpoint? So then you have to find someone that's going to do that, or the developer is going to charge you for adding that to their developer workload. But the uptick on seeing a brand within a game as a skin is kind of like, it's a big deal. Like if I'm playing a character and I'm running around with a Burger King logo on my back throughout my entire gameplay, that means you're seeing on my stream. The other players that I'm playing with in the game are seeing that. And that's pretty huge. That's actually pretty good. Not to mention, you also show up within the game's marketplace. So then the gamers that are going through the marketplace to decide what skins they want to add to their character, or what hat that they want their character to wear, is seeing your brand as well. Most people think gamers are just kids. Can you add more clarity? So the gaming world and demographic is every age range and age span. So you think of like my generation that started with Nintendo. Like we're now old in our 30s, and guess what? I got disposable income from a job that I work at, that I'm responsible at, and then I play gaming at night. So from a marketing standpoint, the insurance company that I use, the lawn service that I use, the pest control service that I use, the clothes that I choose to wear, they all would be able to fit or target or reach me within video games, and the other million of other people that are just like me within video games. But they don't. So those brands actually only reach me right now, whether by knocking on my door or leaving a flyer taped to my door, or me seeing their little yard sign outside of my neighbor's yard. And so the audience of engaging kids and adults is there. So definitely don't think of gaming as, oh, if I want to reach some kids, I'm going to use gaming. No, there's a large adult audience. The median range for adult engagement is actually 35 years old. They even have a senior citizens league out there where they have a group of older, like 60, 70-year-olds that have their own gaming league that they compete at and play Call of Duty. So AARP could also market with video games and reach a demographic that would serve them. One of the things I definitely want to touch on in regards to adding gaming to your marketing strategy is to, one, don't overthink it. Don't think that you have to come up with something super stellar or overly creative to get your feet wet. You actually could just start with find you an influencer, find you a streamer, and tack your logo onto what they're doing as you develop your content to serve. Because let's say if I have a streamer, right, and I've streamed for an hour, that stream has been recorded. I can then take that same content of his recording from his stream and then chop that down into additional content that I can use to serve up on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and other digital content that makes it look like, oh, okay, this brand or organization is really authentically engaging the gaming community, because the gaming community is definitely a cynical community. They don't like frauds or fakes or anyone that looks like they're just trying to take advantage of them from a monetary standpoint. So to come off as authentic as possible means that you can't just have gaming part of your marketing strategy where you're saying, hey, I'm gonna go over here and connect with this streamer, or I'm gonna connect with this event, or I'm gonna put on this tournament, but then your social media channel, your website, etc., doesn't reflect your interest in that space at all. I've seen a lot of brands suffer from where they've paid out from a sponsorship or an endorsement standpoint to be within the gaming space, but then when that gamer is engaged with their content and say, oh, okay, I'm gonna go check out their Instagram or I'm gonna go check out their Twitter, I don't see anything that connects with me like you connected with me when I saw you on the streamer's channel. So you definitely have to be sure that if I'm going to tap into the gaming industry, tap in, make that content connect with your other content so that when a gamer does his research, he sees that, okay, this is authentic. There isn't someone that's just using gaming as a marketing vehicle, because the gaming industry kind of resents that. Any other questions? One part I didn't touch on is global. Because of gaming's diverse nature and the number of people that actually game, that allows you to connect globally. And because we have the internet for most businesses and brands, even though you're a local business, if you're selling product or merch or doing any type of e-commerce, you're not limited to just local engagement. You're actually able to engage not just on a national level, but also on a global level, and being able to increase your audience outside of your local market just results in more sales, more leads for your business. And because gaming is consumed by all creeds and races, etc., it also supports diversity, meaning a lot of brands have a struggle with doing diversity and inclusion because most of their marketing, most of their strategy has been built around a certain group that they consider that they'll get the most uptick out of, and therefore they don't have the bandwidth to include any other demographics, because they're really just trying to do the best that they can with the group that they know is already engaged. So with gaming, you open yourself up to being able to have more diversity and inclusion to diversify your audience versus just sticking to the audience that you've identified with your traditional marketing. Ooh, what is the best game right now? Well, it depends. You ask some people, they still swear by Fortnite, and yeah, some people that can't stand Fortnite. Um, I think from a engagement standpoint, there's an audience for every game out there. You can go on Twitch, and Twitch actually gives you stats on which games are generating the most views, which games are getting the most stream activities, meaning that are there a lot of people streaming this game, or this kind of a niche game where only a couple 100,000 people are actually streaming this, and how many people are actually watching this content based on this game, and all that content isn't even or stats isn't something that your brand has to dig for and investigate. They lay it right out like, boom, Dota is the most watched game, or League of Legends right now is the most watched game, or Overwatch right now is generating the most views. And therefore you can build your strategy around that to say, okay, well, I'm probably going to try one of the top 5 games, or I can go for a niche game that actually has a small niche community, because having a niche game that's not as popular doesn't mean that your activation or your marketing won't be engaging to that audience that it connects with. Can businesses market to gamers via charitable and social goods campaigns? Yes. So we did a scholarship gaming tournament. We was probably one of the first scholarship gaming tournaments here that we put on with Pinellas County High Schools, where we gave out a scholarship prize to the winner of a 2K tournament. On our side, that was a charitable event, meaning that we was giving gamers the opportunity to raise funds for their continued education. But from a sponsorship, a participation standpoint, they were able to, one, participate in gaming, 2, do something that looked like they're being charitable and cared about continued education, STEM, tech, etc. But then also they were able to write it off from a tax write-off standpoint, because it was a charitable event, a nonprofit. We actually have an event coming up for Super Bowl weekend. That's a charity esports gaming tech exposure event coming up, that brands will realize that, hey, it's coming up in February. It's the end of the year for me. I'm going to use that as my tax write-off to participate and also support diversity and inclusion and STEM interests and all this feel-good stuff. And I still get some good marketing and engagement from it. Xbox Series X or PS5? Ooh, I like, I'm an Xbox guy. I like the control on the Xbox, but from the cool factor, I definitely like the PS5 on how that is looking, coming out. Because of my business, I have to get both, or at least that's what I'm gonna express to my wife. If local businesses don't have the gaming talent or expertise in their current marketing staff, how do you recommend they get that support? Well, I recommend that because gaming is vast, or there's so many people that participate in gaming, I'd be surprised if no one within your business is within that world in some form or fashion. Your CEO might not be the one gaming, but your busboy or your waiter staff or etc. is probably in the gaming world that can help at least navigate, or you get with someone that's from a professional level, like businesses like mine, that actually vet the opportunity for you so that you don't have to worry about having that expertise. Or currently, is anyone doing any marketing right now in gaming? Is there anyone that has thought about it, or put it on their radar? Ooh, what is the best city in the state for gaming? Tampa, if you ask me, with the work that Marcus and Juan are doing within the city to raise the value of gaming within Tampa, I definitely put Tampa as one of the top. Miami is doing a lot within the esports industry because they have Heat Check Gaming, the Miami Heat team. They have their gaming team. You have Misfits Gaming, Mayhem Gaming. So from a league standpoint and a professional standpoint, I would say Miami is probably invested the most in it so far. Orlando, of course, has Orlando Magic or Magic Gaming. But I'll probably give it to Miami right now. But Tampa, I feel like we could be the center for gaming esports because we have the airports, we have the beaches. It's a better place to come, better than being up there in Ohio or somewhere when it gets cold and it sucks. Some brands have never gone into gaming, so they don't have any budget specifically allocated to them. How would you convince them to take the risk? Well, I wouldn't consider it a risk because right now, if you're spending money on marketing, you have your a budget set aside. The brands that I work with, I tell them that, like, even to tip your toe out, take whatever your budget is, take 10% of that, or even 5 if you're real unsure, and take that 5% of your budget and use it towards gaming, just to test the market out to see, because it's still digital marketing at the end of the day. The gaming part of it is just the vehicle in which that digital marketing is distributed. That's all it is. It's as a gamer, it's not that complex to me, or that specialized. It's just, like I said, it's another channel that, from a business standpoint, that you can use to identify, and then you can start building your own list. Even if you're starting out, let's say you're 10% of whatever your marketing budget is, and you're saying we're going to take 10% and allocate that towards focusing something on gaming. You can use that to one, survey your audience, and build a list of actual gamers. So then you actually can see, okay, who would we engage with, or who would be interested in us doing something within the gaming space. And in some cases, your main audience isn't going to be necessarily interested in the gaming aspect, but adding another audience to your main audience that's interested in your brand is also a good uptick that we all need right now, when everyone is consuming content online because of this pandemic. A lot of people had money in events, and they were struggling from a marketing standpoint. They had their event lined up, that they already paid for their posters, their banners, etc. And they were ready to go. And guess what? That event got canceled. And so that budget, either they lost that budget that they had set aside for that event, or they had a pool of funds that was sitting and they really didn't know what to do with it. And throughout the pandemic, gaming has continued. If you notice, from a traditional sports standpoint, even before the NBA players got back into their bubble to pursue the season, a lot of them turned to gaming because you're able to do it from a digital standpoint. I'm able to engage with it from the comfort of my home. I'm able to consume it from the comfort of my home, away from the pandemic. And the pandemic, if you ask me, we're not going to come to any abrupt solutions to that. So for businesses to diversify their digital engagement, gaming makes sense, because gaming is something that survived throughout the pandemic. What do you think of the WWE reportedly will be taking over its Star's Twitch account in 4 weeks? By doing this, they'll give talent a percentage of money generated from their account. I think that makes perfect sense. If you're able to, like, if you're suffering from a business because the decrease in live events, or people that are scared to come to events or scared to be around other people, especially from a WWE standpoint, that means your staff is suffering financially, your talent is suffering financially for that. So if you're able to create another opportunity for them to generate revenue, to continue to get brand engagement from, then why not? Why not pursue, whether you're using video games for that opportunity or not? Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to make money. And those of us that's trying to make money, we're trying to have a livelihood, provide, be able to eat, shelter, etc. And any way that we can make that and be successful, if I can use gaming to reach those goals and objectives, in my book, that's a win-win. I wonder if you saw the story about the tattoo artist suing the WWE for using design on the in-game wrestler. So, believe it or not, 2K was notorious for doing that, where they was whoever was responsible for that from a development standpoint that would go out on the internet and find something cool and then go back to the office and implement it within the game, they got away with it for the most part because people were either excited about, oh, wow, 2K included me, or wow, I'm included. But now that the digital landscape has made people a little more aware of, from a legal standpoint and from a revenue standpoint, the opportunities that stealing their work takes from them, the patience for that has decreased tremendously. People aren't just excited that WWE or 2K use my stuff. No, I want a check. You making money off of using it. Where's my check for using it? I didn't give you permission to use my stuff. And you're going to see an increase in that. In my opinion, I feel like big developers, there really isn't any excuse for them to steal, especially if you're a big title that's generating a whole lot of revenue. You can easily knock on the doors of these creators and say, hey, we'll give you XYZ and we'll include you in the game. And most people will just sign off on that and be happy for the opportunity because that gives them more clout for their brands and their creation. What kinds of platforms other than Xbox and PlayStation do gamers use? PC, of course. There's a large PC community. Switch, indie games, mobile gaming. A lot of people overlook when you hear video games, they don't even think about the games that are being played on mobile devices. So there are numerous brands they focus heavily on mobile gaming as part of their marketing strategy. They don't do PC, they don't do Xbox, they don't do PlayStation. They just do mobile branding where they can either they're giving out contests for like who's the highest score on Candy Crush this week. Save 50% or 25% off to those. Share with us your gamer tag and receive 10% off, etc. And these opportunities have been working very well to them. And because the mobile gaming industry is, I don't like to call it a niche industry because it's a lot of participation, but it's definitely an industry that people don't think of that is doing very well. When you think of how many people download buzzwords or any of these other competitive mobile games that your friend has sent you a link to, and you go, and whether you play for 2 weeks addictively or whether you play every time you're sitting somewhere idle, waiting for your car to get washed or the oil to be changed. That's another marketing opportunity for business right there to engage with that audience that's using their mobile device to game. Our company, DualBot Partners, builds software, and are there any special avenues in coding languages to build technologies to advertise inside esports? Yes, there's actually Views Marketing was one of the members in our Tampa Association of Gaming, and they had a VR platform where they were actually able to present code that allowed brands to say, hey, I want to be in this game and I'm willing to pay per click, so to speak, but within gaming where I can say, it gave me stats on how long someone within the game, whether someone was walking around and they saw my billboard and banner when they were walking to the next level, how long did they look at it? How many people walked past that banner within the game? And they were actually able to give you stats and engagement on actually how much exposure was your brand given within that game. I'm not sure how many technology companies are in that space because there's a relationship that needs to be in place in order to have that type of technology. You have to have a relationship with the developer in order to implement the code within the game. Like, you can't just go and do that on your own. There has to be some type of relationship there. So if you use gaming from a reward standpoint, so let's say you don't do the stream route, let's say you don't do the sponsor route, but let's say you do a rewards based, almost like the gamification route where you say, come to my store or visit my shop this many times, and guess what? You could win this gaming headset or this gaming camera or this gaming microphone, or even this new game that just came out, that'll get your brand a lot of engagement just for those individuals that game, but they might not have the ability to go out and purchase every new fancy thing that comes out that they want to add to their gaming kit. But if I know I can go down to Papa John's and every time I order a pizza, that gets me 10 points closer to this headset that I want, but I might not be willing to spend $200 on myself personally, that'll generate a lot of engagement. And that's the type of engagement that isn't based on a certain group, meaning that kids aren't the only one that's going to be happy about getting a new headset. A 35-year-old gamer that could actually go down and go buy the new headset himself is going to be excited about getting the new headset himself. Many people are using Among Us on mobile right now. Yes. Indie developed game. So speaking of, thank you, Marcus, for the indie. Within the space, so if you take games that are real popular, like 2K, League of Legends, those Blizzard's, Epic Games, those are big development houses, meaning that they have licensing agreements. They have all of the business and legal stuff in place that makes it a little more difficult to engage with them when it comes to sponsorships and endorsement. But there's a whole audience of indie developed games, which is indie developed games are games that somebody that might have a regular 9-to-5 job, and him and his little friends and buddy come home in the evening and they've made this game and they've distributed it out, whether they distributed it on PlayStation, they distributed it on PC, and it's developed and funded by them. But that audience is easier to engage with from a business standpoint, meaning as a business, you can, go up to, say, a Brawlhalla and say, hey, I would like to have my skin within your game. How can I make that happen? They'll be more receptive to that type of conversation. So now, even as a small business, you actually can be officially within a game, which then gives you clout amongst the gaming community and industry. And for something that won't cost you a lot to do. And because it's an indie developed game, those developers are interested in getting sponsors or brands that participate, because that participation gives them, whether it gives them the finances or the clout to continue to develop their game to hopefully one day be the cash cow that they believe it can be for them.
Well, Derek, thank you for all those insights. And thank you all for attending. This was a great session. We do have to wrap up here. There's another one starting in about 6 minutes. But I did post the track link for the rest of the gaming esports stuff happening this week. The next one is tomorrow at 10 a.m. on professional services in the gaming and esports industry. And then Derek just posted a link to his company. Definitely recommend you check out his company and all the great things that he's done. He's been in the space several years, worked again with small, medium, large businesses, as well as some some celebrities and professional athletes. So he's got a ton of experience in this space. He knows it like the back of his hand. And thank you all again for your time. We will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thanks, Derek.
Thanks, Marcus. Thanks, everybody, for joining.